The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
And we begin with late breaking news. An arrest has been made in connection with the mass shooting in Austin nearly 2 weeks ago. 19-year-old DeAndre Jermiris White taken into custody this afternoon in Killeen. He's now awaiting arraignment on a murder charge.
This new arrest coming just a few days after charges were dropped against 2 other people for the June 12th shooting, in which 1 person was killed, 13 others injured along 6th Street. According to police in Killeen, U.S. Marshals arrested White at a home there. Not yet clear what other charges he'll be facing in connection with that shooting.
Blacks and Latinos are not the only minorities who could feel the impact of voting restrictions.
There's the disability community. Among their biggest concerns, proposed changes in curbside voting and possible criminal charges if a caregiver or attendant is thought to be doing more than just helping a voter with disabilities cast their ballot.
Our Jesse DeGollado now with what many say is the most upsetting to many living with disabilities.
Mail-in ballots are at the heart of concerns being voiced by San Antonio's disability community. To get one could require having to first pay for a doctor's visit that for many could be easier said than done.
When they have to go out and get verification that they have a disability, it's almost like a tax, a voting tax.
You know, if they're not going to make everybody prove that they do or don't have a disability, I don't think it's right.
Ryan Flipson says why should he document he has spina bifida when others don't have to prove they have diabetes or high blood pressure? To let Texas lawmakers know what's at stake ahead of next month's special session, a joint statement was sent to each one with their specific concerns, signed by all these disability organizations, including Disability SA.
It's just restrictive, it's suppressive, and it makes it more challenging for everybody to have equal access to the polls.
After all, says Flipson,
my disability has no impact on how I can vote or not.
Quorum is not present.
Whatever version of SB 7 is resurrected after last month's failed attempt, before it's decided which voting restrictions will be considered, they say it's important lawmakers realize.
Here in Texas, 1 in every 6 voting adults has a disability.
A large and diverse group who she says will show up in force when public hearings begin. Jesse DeGollado, KSAT 12 News.
We reached out to the SB 7 sponsor, Republican State Senator Brian Hughes out of Tyler. We wanted to get his response to what many in the disability community had to say. However, as of now, we have not received a response from Senator Hughes.
New at 6, a much anticipated report on the February freeze leading to some heated conversation in council chambers today. The Committee on Emergency Preparedness that Mayor Ron Nirenberg formed after the cold weather led to days without power or water for many San Antonians delivered its report to council. They had dozens of recommendations about how CPS Energy Saws and the city could better prepare for next time. But amid the talk of solutions, Garrett Berger tells us there was some jostling among council members about which side of town got hit the hardest.
Colors green through red on this map show how long different circuits around the city had forced power outages during February's extended freeze.
When this happened, there was a lot of folks saying, well, obviously the more disadvantaged part of the cities were hit harder with longer, with more circuits out. I can tell you this map doesn't show that.
Instead, the chairman for the Committee on Emergency Preparedness said the north and northwest parts of the city were the most impacted by forced outages. However, District 2's Jalen McKee Rodriguez, who represents the east side, pointed out why the opposite perception might exist.
When we're talking about the income that exists and the disparity on the north side, east, south, and west, and we're talking about the lack of produce, and we're seeing scarce resources on our sides of town, that leads to this feeling that the east, west, and south sides are being left out.
District 7's Anna Sandoval was also on the committee and said they couldn't say the impacts weren't more strongly felt in the poorer parts of the city.
Talking about, like you said, older housing stock, less access to other resources. So I think we do need to be mindful about that.
However, District 8 Councilman Manny Pelaez, also on the committee, said every San Antonian was vulnerable that week, and he didn't accept the idea that the pain was felt more on one side of town or another.
To suggest that is pejorative to the people who were experiencing genuine pain all over Texas, in big houses and in little houses.
The committee's report had numerous recommendations, including changing up the utility's power circuits and the rotating outage process to not have as lopsided a response next time. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Trouble on four wheels for two men on the city's south side. According to San Antonio police, someone inside of an SUV opened fire on them near Interstate 35 and Southwest Military. One of the men died. As Katrina Weber reports, that shooting too close for comfort for other people in that area.
A highway underpass near Interstate 35 and Southwest Military is where San Antonio police and EMS crews worked feverishly to keep a man from dying. It's also where he and another man were shot around 11 last night, just as Cristina Gutierrez was bedding down outside a nearby building.
I know I heard pa, and then pa. You know what I'm saying?
She says what sounded like 2 rounds of gunfire rang out. Then she noticed the men on the ground.
When I heard the gunshots, I didn't really think anything. I was like, wow, is this really happening? And then I just ran over here to try to give CPR.
She found one man crawling toward the street, the other gasping for breath.
And he was still alive, but I'm telling you, man, hold on, the EMS coming.
He died at the scene. The other went to a hospital. Police say both men in their 20s had been arguing with someone in the SUV who stopped there for some unknown reason. The bullets didn't stop there, though. One went through the window of a Denny's restaurant. You could still see a hole in the window from where the stray bullet hit. As far as we know, no one here was injured, but it does seem that the shooting affected business. Throughout the night and this morning, customers were surprised to find the 24-hour restaurant closed. The investigation, meanwhile, is still wide open. Police are still looking for the shooter. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
The school district's trying to get students back on track by opening more campuses for summer school. The COVID-19 pandemic brought challenges. For some students, it was difficult to focus at home, causing them to fall behind in class. Tiffany Huerta spoke to a Warren High School student attending summer school about how his experience is so far.
This is my first year in high school, so I was a little confused.
It was not a typical freshman year for Warren High School student Elijah Carrion. He started high school doing virtual learning.
And then it turned into hybrid, which was Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I would go to school, and then Tuesday and Thursday I would do Zooms. And then after that, they switched it to in-person.
With so many changes, Elijah found himself falling behind and is now in summer school.
This summer I'm working on English and Spanish.
For the first time, Elijah is meeting some of his classmates.
You don't really know that much people here because, Zoom, you didn't meet nobody.
He is one of hundreds of students at Warren High School trying to catch up.
We've had about 270 students already complete some form of credit. Tomorrow's our last day of the first summer session, and Monday we start the second summer session.
Over 500 students are registered for summer school here. Elijah says this is the setting he needed to succeed.
You get to interact with the teachers, and they help you when needed.
Every high school at Northside ISD is hosting summer school this year. Typically, only one high school hosts summer school. Elijah hopes the next school year is different.
I really just want to get this over with and move on to the next year, and hopefully everything goes back to normal.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
New at 6, lupus nephritis is the most common side effect of the autoimmune condition lupus. It's the disease that caused actress and musician Selena Gomez to undergo a kidney transplant, raising a lot of public awareness of that condition. Now, as Ursula Perry reports, after years with no new treatments, scientists say there are some promising new drugs that can stop the kidney damage with fewer toxic side effects.
4 years ago, Diana Yeager Espinosa was working to put herself through college and newly engaged when she suddenly put on 25 pounds.
I was working 2 jobs, and I figured that the weight gain was due to the fact that I wasn't at home. I was eating a lot of fast food.
Finally, after working her shift at a local garden center, her legs swelled up and her heart rate skyrocketed. Diana was hospitalized as her kidneys shut down. Doctors then diagnosed her with lupus nephritis.
The treatment of lupus basically is to use fairly strong therapies that are effective but are associated with lots and lots of potential side effects.
Dr. Rovin has been studying other new treatments. Diana enrolled in a trial of a new drug that's now called Lupkynis. It's a first-of-its-kind oral medication that patients take in addition to their other treatments. Dr. Rovin says a second drug called Benlysta has also been FDA approved for lupus nephritis.
We now have a whole menu of new drugs that are being tested in lupus that are very exciting.
After 2 years on Lupkynis, Diana says her kidney function has improved and she's feeling good and is now married.
Just live a normal life, not have to worry about all these medications I have to take, not having to worry that I can't go up a flight of stairs because my knee hurts.
And not having to worry that she won't be around to be with her husband. It is important to note that the CDC recognizes research that says that Asian and Hispanic women are far more likely to have lupus nephritis than white women. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
Taking a look outside with live cam, this view looks a little bit hazy at this point.
And there's still some fiesta things going on. I mean,
yeah.
Right across the river from the station, they are partying at the VFW over there. The party on 10th Street, or Fiesta on 10th Street, I think they call it.
We could hear it.
They're usually partying over there. This is just
but
a little
they started
bigger and louder.
early today. I think they started early today. Usually it's when we get off the 10.
Exactly. Oh, they're kicking it nicely there at the VFW. Nothing on the radar screen, so sunny and dry, of course, for Fiesta events this evening and tonight. I do want to point out a new state record that was just officially confirmed. The largest hailstone ever recorded in Texas. This was just outside of Hondo, and this was back in April during one of the big supercells, weighing about 1.26 pounds, 19.73 inches in circumference, a diameter of nearly 6.5 inches. So that is official. We're going to talk about our next storm chances and, of course, what temperatures will be doing the next few days, including a bit of a drop-off coming up.
You know, San Antonio, one of the areas where bicycling increased the most during the pandemic. That's one of the findings of a recent UTSA study.
Our Samuel King joins us now. And Samuel, the study also found that San Antonio's bike sharing stood out nationally, too.
Yeah, that's right, Steve and Myra. The researchers say it was one of the few big city bike shares that clearly outline how it was keeping riders safe during the early months of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now they're trying to keep the momentum going.
San Antonio Bike Share Executive Director J.D. Simpson uses the service she oversees. And last year, she had company as the pandemic led people to search for ways to get outside and to get moving.
It was amazing how the locals came out of the woodwork, if you will, and suddenly people who had never used our program before started using it.
Simpson believes one factor in that increase may have been that people felt safe using it. That conclusion backed up by a recent study by researchers at UTSA. It found San Antonio Bike Share, or B-Cycle, was one of the few big city bike shares that clearly laid out COVID safety protocols.
That maybe or maybe wasn't communicated together. The city of San Antonio's system here, San Antonio Bike Share and B-Cycle, did. And so they served as a good example to be able to compare against some of the others.
The study also found that San Antonio had one of the biggest increases in bicycle miles traveled among the major cities it studied, by more than 50%. Survey also found that riders who started using B-Cycle during the pandemic plan to continue to do so after.
If we compare this year, 2021, over 2019, then we are above those numbers.
Jeremy Lozano says he and his neighbors have turned more to alternatives like bike sharing or scooters.
There's other ways to get around besides just kind of hoofing it on foot, getting into Uber. A lot of pretty ways to see the inner parts of the city you may not be able to access on different routes on a bus path or anything like that.
And B-Cycle took over the operations of the system from San Antonio Bike Share earlier this month. Survey respondents say they hope the service will expand to more areas besides downtown and the trails like Topin Hill and Monte Vista. As for this evening's traffic, maybe these people wish they were on a bicycle right now. This is the view I-35 southbound at Eisenhower. Some sort of situation here. You still see the fire trucks there, so that's definitely causing a slowdown this evening. This is how it looks at the map. It's showing up here at Rittiman. This is Eisenhower here, so that's kind of what you're looking at there. So keep that in mind. Looking out in the area, we had a lot of red earlier
earlier. Now it's in orange, which is still not good. We like to see yellow and green. This is downtown for folks heading to Fiesta. Looks better than it did about 20 minutes ago, but still about 29 miles per hour on 35 southbound approaching downtown. So let's take a look at those travel times really quickly. 15 minutes if you're coming from the northeast side into downtown San Antonio from Loop 410. Remember that situation there on Eisenhower and Rittiman. Southwest side coming into downtown, 10 minutes, 12 minutes outbound. We'll keep an eye on things throughout the evening. Steve and Myra.
Thank you, Samuel.
Look outside from Sky 12, checking in on the crowd here at Night in Old San Antonio, flying high above La Villita. Third night, I believe, of this event.
I think it might be college night tonight.
Oh.
Usually one of the most popular nights of Fiesta, and you can see a few people lining up outside the gates. Another warm one. Adam Caskey.
Yes.
And those college students don't care. They don't care. Let's face it, they don't care.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we melt a lot more than they do out under the sun and in that heat, and of course on all the asphalt out there. But the sun will be setting around 8:30 p.m. and even before then, when it gets lower, you just get more shade from the nearby buildings. Our weather pattern is going to be shifting in just a few days, so that's going to give us the chance of some showers and thunderstorms, so good maintenance rain, because we have a lack of a drought right now and we want to keep it that way. Friday, Saturday, really not a chance of rain, but once we get into Sunday afternoon and thereafter into the early part of next week, rain and thunderstorm chances are back in the picture. Okay, let's talk about our weather pattern right now. You look across our area, we had a few highly isolated pop-up brief showers along the coastal plain earlier. Some activity far west Texas, even parts of the Panhandle, which is nice to see, especially up into New Mexico as well, because that's where we still have a significant drought that's ongoing, extreme and exceptional drought. And naturally, we still have the big drought in the western third of the United States. And they've been seeing some shower activity over the past couple of days, but it takes a while to really pull out of the drought situation. Upper level high is basically deflecting good amount of that action around us, so it's not moving in, but it will have an opportunity to move in once we get into Sunday. So Friday, Saturday, more of the same with a lot of sunshine. On Sunday, that upper level high is out of here. It breaks down. We actually have this upper level disturbance coming off the Gulf. It's a Tut low, and that'll be coming in and helping just to give us a little extra lift. We'll have some instability, a lot of moisture in the air, and then this should help just to kickstart some showers and thunderstorms Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. Not everybody's going to get it. Actually, most of us won't, but at least some locations will get that shot of a little bit of maintenance rain. Then I think some slightly better chances, that is as we get on into the early part of next week. All right, let's talk temperatures. Today, these are the highs. El Paso 101, Laredo 100. Brownsville 93, Midland 96. Most of Texas was in the 90s. Carrizo Springs just shy of 100 by a degree, and Cotulla had a high of 101. Of course, hot, but also humid, sticky outside. Dew points even in the afternoon, low 70s here in town. New Braunfels 75. Pleasanton, 76-degree dew point. So in Pleasanton right now feels like 107, along with New Braunfels. Feels like 104 in Carrizo Springs. Actual air temperature, 94 in Pleasanton and 95 in New Braunfels. So you see that big disparity between the temperature and the heat index because of that thick humidity that's still in place. Seguin's right now at 90 degrees along with Canyon Lake, Bulverde 91, and Rio Medina now at 92. So this evening, temperatures gradually falling down through the 80s. By 8 o'clock, still near 90, 10 o'clock, mid-80s. So warm out there at Nyosa and other Fiesta events as usual. We've been dealing with that all week at those events. 78 in the morning with low clouds. The mid-90s again for the high temperature, bright sunshine, southeasterly breeze at 10 to 20. And there's a look at temperatures actually falling off a little bit. Upper 80s likely by Monday and Tuesday because of extra clouds and those chance of some scattered showers and storms.
Woohoo! Thanks, Adam.
All right, big bout this weekend for a local boxer. He flew into town on his way to the match site.
Yes, Mario Barrios getting ready to take on Javonte Davis. Today was their final press conference, so the two get to face off at least one more time. And coming up, Barrios explains why he feels this fight is not going to go the distance. And Joshua Franco tells us what he will need to do better in his trilogy match against Andrew Maloney. Coming up.
I'm just as good of a fighter, just as explosive, just as fast, and I mean, I have the size, to present a lot of difficulties to Tank, and that's exactly what I plan on doing.
San Antonio world champ Mario Barrios is ready to take down Tank Davis in big board sports. Today was the final press conference in Atlanta, giving Mario Barrios and Javonte Davis one more chance to face off before their big fight Saturday night. Barrios is undefeated at 26-0, looking to defend his WBA super lightweight title for the second time when he takes on Baltimore's undefeated and four-time world champion Davis, who's 24-0. Barrios is one of the best young fighters in boxing today and knows that Davis will be his toughest test. Now, Barrios says because of their styles, this fight will not go the distance. Today, he explained why.
Every time both of us are in the ring, man, both of us start with bad intentions. Both of us are in there, to hurt and take out our opponent, whether it's round 1 or round 12. And that's why I said that.
Last night, Barrios and Davis held their media workouts at the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta. Tomorrow is the official weigh-in, and Saturday night is Fight Night at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, live on Showtime pay-per-view. As we talked about yesterday, fellow San Antonio boxer and WBA World Super Flyweight champion Joshua Franco is going to fight Andrew Maloney for a third time. 1 year ago yesterday, Joshua beat Maloney to win the WBA Super Fly title. Then back in November, their second fight was ruled no contest after just 2 rounds. Joshua's right eye was swollen shut, prompting the ringside doctor to stop the bout. Referee Russell Moore ruled it a no contest, stating the swelling over Josh's eye was due to an accidental headbutt, but Maloney's camp said it was due to their guy jabbing Josh in the face. Today, we talked with Joshua, who's training in Riverside, California, and asked what he needed to do better this time around.
I got to go back to do what I do best, and that's using my skills, my IQ, my technique. In that second fight, I was, just, going in there and, trying to, overpower him, use my power. I had the confidence in me. And, this time I got to go back to, just doing what I do best, and that's using my skills and using my IQ.
Franco Maloney Part 3 is set for August 14th, site to be determined, but it's looking like it will go down in Oklahoma.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Seattle Seahawks cornerback Trey Flowers is entering the 4th and final year of his rookie contract. The safety-turned-cornerback was selected by Seattle in the 5th round of the 2018 NFL Draft. He lost his starting job in Week 1 last season, but got it back in Week 3 due to injuries, and he responded with his second-best season in the league. Seattle recently added 2 veteran corners after they lost 2 to free agency, and they drafted 1 in the 4th round. The competition will be tough, and with close to 40 starts on his NFL resume, this is a make-or-break year for Trey in Seattle.
He's ready to go. It's the cornerback position is going to be really competitive, and we've got good structure of guys. We got different style guys that can play. We got some long guys, some big guys. We got some quickness. We got a whole mixture of guys that can play. The competition is going to be wide open. It's going to take us all camp to figure it out. Trey's ready. He's ready to go. He knows what's at stake. He knows that the guys are coming after his job, and he's going for it to protect it and own it, and nothing but positive stuff.
Seattle has 10 corners listed on its roster who will be competing for 2 starting spots. It's assumed DJ Reed will start, leaving an intense battle for the other corner position. So go get him, Trey Flowers.
Trey gives back to the community so much. You can't help but be a Trey Flowers fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Thanks, Larry.
Our KSAT Q&A is coming up next. In today's KSAT Q&A, it is Thursday, so we are joined once again by Dr. Ruth Berggren, infectious disease specialist with the Long School of Medicine at UT Health San Antonio. Doctor, thanks for being with us for yet another week here. We're getting a lot of questions about the Delta variant, especially when it comes to the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. This is a viewer question that I want to start with. What is the efficacy of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine against that new Delta variant? This person said a lot of reports they've seen only focuses on Pfizer and Moderna. So should those who receive the J&J shot be more concerned?
So first of all, thanks for the question. And you're not the only one. We're getting this type of question from across the country right now. Let me cut to the bottom line, and then I'll go back and give you some fill-in details. We don't have population level data for the efficacy of Johnson & Johnson versus the Delta variant. Okay, there's no good data yet, but we should be concerned because the Delta variant is much more infectious, and it appears to be potentially more lethal. So it makes people sicker. It's easier to catch it. So we should worry and we should want to be protected. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine overall is slightly less effective for all comers of COVID-19 compared to the Pfizer or Moderna. And by that I mean they have a published 66 point something efficacy compared to Pfizer and Moderna, which are 90 to 94% effective at preventing infection. So whether you're talking about a Delta variant or not, the Johnson & Johnson has been slightly less effective in preventing illness compared to the Pfizer and the Moderna. Now, the question that's being raised, for good reason, is if you've had the Johnson & Johnson and you are worried that Delta variant is coming, and by the way, it's pushing 20% now in at least some parts of our country in terms of the composition of what people are getting infected with. If you have had Johnson & Johnson and you're worried that Delta is coming, what should you do? And the answer right now is we don't have a guideline for you. There is no recommendation to run out and get a Pfizer or a Moderna booster. There are a number of clinical trials going on that might answer that question for us. And there is a mix and match clinical trial that's been going on in the UK for some weeks that will give us better information about whether and how we can start with one type of vaccine and follow up with another, and will that be helpful and will there be harms? So I hope that unpacks it.
I want to clarify something, though, Dr. Berger. And I mean, we're talking about the vast majority of these people who are getting sick from the Delta variant that have not received any vaccine, correct?
I mean, the worry is people who are unvaccinated, right? And also we worry about people that have only had one of their 2 shots of the mRNA vaccine. If you've only had one Pfizer or one Moderna, you didn't get your second shot, we know that you're only 33% protected. And you have to get your second shot to get above 80% protection. And so if it's far better to have a shot, any shot, than no shot when it comes to Delta. And we really need to get more people vaccinated. The more people are vaccinated, the fewer transmissions there will be, and the fewer sick people we'll have in the hospital, and the fewer deaths.
Let's talk about the issue of myocarditis. That's something that the heart inflammation issue. The CDC said yesterday, a panel with the CDC said there is a link between that condition, which, correct me if I'm wrong, seems like it's generally mild, but there is a link between the vaccines and that issue being found in teenagers. What do we need to know about that, and what's your advice to parents deciding on whether to vaccinate their kids?
Myocarditis is rare. It can happen. It's the vast majority have been extremely mild, and the consequences of getting sick with COVID are far worse than the risk of getting myocarditis from a vaccine. So especially with the Delta variant bearing down on us right now, its increased infectiousness and its potential to make people sicker, I really think that the risk-benefit analysis weighs in very heavily in favor of getting vaccinated rather than being afraid of a mild case of myocarditis, which is going to be very rare.
We've also, Dr. Berggren, been getting questions about the vaccine's potential to affect mammogram results. I know there's been some articles about what that impact could be. Could you explain that?
Sure. So the vaccines rev up your immune system, and we have lymph nodes in our armpits that can get a little bit swollen after a vaccine. And this has definitely been reported with the COVID-19 vaccine. So your breast tissue is not being affected by the vaccine, but you could get a swollen lymph node in your armpit. And so for this reason, we recommend that people get their mammograms either prior to their COVID vaccination, or most people recommend waiting 4 to 6 weeks after your vaccine to go and get your mammogram. But this has no relation to causing cancer, and it's not affecting anything with your breast tissue. It's just swelling of lymph nodes in the armpit.
There have been a lot of pop-up sites that have been set up during Fiesta Nyosa, Fiesta. There have not been well attended. How concerning is that for you?
Well, I really would have liked to see a better turnout. I was there on Saturday at the Flotilla Mission Reach event with the UT Health van, and we honestly had more vaccinators than we did people coming in. We did get over a dozen. And I just think it speaks to, in general, people's hesitancy. Now, maybe a lot of people that are out enjoying Fiesta are there because they're vaccinated, and maybe the people that haven't been vaccinated were staying home. I don't know, but I would just urge people to take advantage of the fact that the vaccine is available. Look, folks, we don't want to waste vaccine. And there are people in other countries like Haiti, like all across Africa, where there's surges happening and people are dying and they haven't even gotten one vaccine. And here we are looking at an excess of vaccines and vaccines going to waste. And I think that's really a shame. And I just wish people would come out and get protected so that they can truly enjoy the good things in life, hugging their family members and being together in groups.
Well, we hope that's what we can help people do here, answer their questions to hopefully end some of that hesitancy. So we always appreciate your time.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. We're still watching this situation on 35 southbound. This is the view from Eisenhower, and you can still see crews on the scene there. They've been there for a little bit now, still trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. But the upside is it is causing some traffic delays in this area. So just look at the map. That icon is gone, but this is roughly where those crews are. You can still see sort of the red on the map, which you don't like to see. That's about a 2-mile backup there from the split on 35, so watch out for that. Also, looking at other parts of the area, still have a new situation, relatively new situation here, but this is getting better. Highway 281 at San Pedro southbound. We've had issues on 281 all day. I'm looking over there at our map to see, and looks like that's still there, so watch out for that if you're heading southbound, maybe around the airport. Also, a reminder tonight, construction will continue Pat Booker Road at Loop 1604 beginning at 9 this evening through 5 in the morning. So if you travel in that area, they're doing some bridge work out here. And again, one more night for that, actually tomorrow night as well. So just look out for that if you're on the northeast side. Stephen Myron.
Thank you, Samuel.
Thank you, Samuel. All right, look outside right now. Plenty of sunshine. I've been wondering this, Caskey. Have we hit 100 yet this year?
Nope, we haven't. Sure feels like it outside.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
We're getting closer.
Yeah, we are. We're getting close. I mean, it feels like it has actually felt like it's well over 100 because of the humidity, according to the handy-dandy heat index calculation. Otherwise, 92 degrees, the actual air temperature right now. 10 o'clock, still in the mid-80s. No chance of rain out there this evening. That changes in the days ahead. We're going to talk more about that in just a few minutes.
You know, it is Thermometer Thursday, and I'm gonna admit I'm a little disappointed. In this Fiesta that we've only seen the Canyon Cascaron a couple times.
Well, you know, one parade.
Yeah.
That kind of
Fiesta.
lessens the opportunities.
All right. I just figured you had so much confetti built up from the last year that you probably were ready. And
I do, especially because I hit the sale online during the off season.
Those confetti sales.
I have boxes.
You got to get in early.
Aren't you worried the confetti will go bad?
No. I'd revive it back to life.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe I'll play a confetti clip for you next week for Thermometer Thursday.
All right.
Might just do that.
I like it.
One of the consequences of being friends with me and even living nearby is you end up with confetti in your house at some point.
Yeah. No, you have
even your own
that
house.
Subject with me, and I said no.
All right, so let's get right to this. The news drought monitor is in, and of course, we like what we see around here. Big improvements for us, especially over the past 2-3 months, but it's far west Texas. That's where we still need the rain. I mean, we're talking Alpine, Fort Davis, Marathon, Marfa area, just about 4 or 5 counties out west where we really need the rain. We have the extreme and exceptional drought. But as for the state as a whole, we're looking good. 13% of the state in drought compared to 68% just 3 months ago. And actually where we need the rain, look at that. We're seeing more pop-up showers and thunderstorms today, just like yesterday. They don't drop a whole lot of moisture, but it's better than nothing. And it's that time of year we start to see more of that. And luckily, we're seeing some activity in the Rockies and parts of the Intermountain West where we really need rain as well. Otherwise, Big Blue H, upper level high, still planted overhead. It's influencing our weather. It's going to keep us sunny the next couple of days. And then we see a pattern shift once we get into Sunday. Notice the Big Blue H is out of here, and we get this inverted trough, this upper level disturbance that's going to be moving in. And I think that's going to help generate a few showers and thunderstorms Sunday, just isolated or widely separated in nature, especially closer to the Gulf Coast, but even up and down I-35 and near San Antonio. Yeah, we could have a few pop up. Don't plan your day around it. And it's one of those situations where just the lucky few will get it, but then slightly better coverage into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So we go from 30% chance, so isolated on Sunday, up to 40% Monday and Tuesday. But it's nice to see at least some chances of rain back in the forecast. Topped out at 95 today. That's 2 degrees above average, the record being 102 set back in 1994. Right now we're at 92, but it feels like 99. 97 Carrizo Springs, 88 Rock Springs, Gonzales now at 90. And tomorrow morning, widespread mid to upper 70s. By the afternoon, we just do this all over again. Well into the 90s, even triple digits closer to the Rio Grande. Eagle Pass about 99, Del Rio 102, Helotes 94, Timberwood Park 95, and Elmendorf 96. Cloud cover in the morning, then a lot of sunshine, southeasterly breeze at 10 to 20. A nice little side effect of the additional clouds and even the chance of showers and thunderstorms next week is cooler high temperatures down into the upper 80s. We had a very important holiday this past weekend. Father's Day was here.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And it was one of the situations where I was able to drum up a spare thermometer for one of our wonderful, wonderful KSAT 12 viewers. So Ryan Pollock reached out in order to surprise his father. All right, let's check this out.
Fragilio. This is what Ox sleeps in, or is it? Yeah. Because you get I already told me about it. Autograph, too. Autograph, everything. I've wanted one of these for 12 years.
Priceless. Love it. I'm so glad I was able to help out. And now he sent me a picture of it perfectly hung on his porch in full shade, as always noted.
Yeah. I love that they actually took video.
Yeah, they did.
That was great.
Yep. Yeah. And sideways video, not vertical video.
Yeah.
Yep, we talked about that before.
Yeah.
Wondered one for 12 years.
That's right, waited 12 years. All right, today's thermometer winner, Larry White of San Antonio. Larry, I sent you the email about 45 minutes, maybe an hour ago. That Larry White of San Antonio. Congrats. You can go to ksat.com/thermometer to enter the drawing, or you can reach out to me at thermometer@ksat.com as well.
So did Myra autograph that? Is that why he was so excited? I was trying to figure out who autographed it that would make him that excited.
That was pretty good. We'll be right back. Just pray. That is the message in Surfside, Florida, as rescue crews race against time to find any survivors of that deadly condo collapse. Part of the massive 12-story building crumbled early this morning while many slept in their beds.
3 people died. There are nearly 100 others who are still missing at last account. Isabel Rosales is in Surfside, Florida, as the desperate search continues.
Just pray.
Rescue crews dig through the rubble and debris of a collapsed condo building, desperately searching for survivors.
Firefighters that since 1:48 in the morning have not stopped and trying to rescue as many people as possible.
About 55 units crumbled to the ground without warning around 1:30 Thursday morning.
We opened the door and it was a pile of rubble and dust and smoke billowing around, and I couldn't walk out past my doorway.
Everybody was screaming and panicking.
Trapped in the debris, a 10-year-old boy.
I saw an arm sticking out of the wreckage, and he was screaming, "Can you see me?"
He was just screaming, "Don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me."
Crews, with the help of Good Samaritans, pull the boy out from under the wreckage.
He's a guardian angel. That's all I can say. Given what happened, he came out unscathed.
But dozens are still missing, and the time to find survivors may be running out.
We still have at least 99 who are unaccounted for.
Very sad when you're dealing with people that don't know the outcome of their family. They're very worried.
As the search continues, so do the questions about how a building standing for 40 years can suddenly fall.
We just don't have any answers right now, but we'll get them.
In Surfside, Florida, I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
Things getting a little better on 35 southbound at Rittiman. This is the view from 35 at Eisenhower there. Seeing traffic moving a little better now, so seeing a little more orange there, less red, but still about a 2-mile backup there to the split. Also watching this situation here on 281 southbound at San Pedro. Nothing like we saw earlier, but this lane is still blocked, so that's something to watch out for, Adam.
And tomorrow's going to be a lot like today. Some low clouds early, then sunny. We'll go from 78 to the mid-90s, but a southeasterly breeze at 10 to 20. It's going to stay humid, though. We get into the weekend, a little shift in our weather pattern by Sunday, so slight chance of some pop-up afternoon showers and storms then.
All right, thanks, Adam. And thanks for watching the news at 6.
See you back here at 10.